Hiya, y'all. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy, 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 happy. Happy, 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 happy. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, y'all. Good evening, good morning, good day, good night. If this is a Thursday for you or a Monday or whatever day you are watching, good evening. I am so excited, so grateful, so glad that you are here to join me. My name is Dr. JaNee Mobley. I'm affectionately known as Dr. JaNee, and I help women turn their purpose into a profitable business, all while teaching them to overcome mindsets that will prevent profit, progress, and prosperity. I am so grateful that you are here joining me. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I love doing that. You know, I have to pay attention whenever YouTube is trying to, encourage you, or that, like, that sound effect to subscribe. So that's my sound effect. Subscribe to my channel if you already haven't. Make sure you text this live to about 2 or 3 people. We're going to get into it. So this past week, we have been talking about the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people. And by the way, on next Tuesday, I will be hosting the State of the Address of Profiting Purpose Women. And I'll share 3 mindsets that every profiting purpose woman possesses in order for her to see the profit in her business. So the link is below. The only thing that is going to cost you is your most valuable asset when you use it properly, and that is your time. So just make sure you click the link below, set your alarm, mark your calendar, and join me on next Tuesday, September 3rd. So we've been talking about the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people. And one of the biggest differences, the biggest but major but minor difference is the mindset, right? The mindset between the successful individual and the unsuccessful individual. Remember, mindset, just as in review, to sum this up, is that always remember is that when you break mind and set up, set is a place or a position, and your mind, of course, is your way of thinking, your beliefs. And always remember that your way and your thinking always drives the things that you do. It drives your actions, and it drives, ultimately determines the results that you have. One of the scriptures that God has given me such good evening, and thank you for joining me. Thank y'all for the hearts, the celebration, the happy faces, and all of those amazing reactions. God gave me this revelation about the scripture that faith without works is dead. And it is a very popularly used scripture, but the amazingness of God is that He will always, if we allow Him to, give us a revelation that we just never had before as we mature in Him, as we connect deeper to Him. So when I think about this scripture, what God shared with me is that faith and work have to go together in order for there to be a production. Hello. I see y'all see my shirt, right? So it says faith without works is dead. So what that lets me know is that the two need to go together in order for there to be life. Whenever you read the Bible, you always read the Bible as a guide. And always, here's the thing, you always want to set and position yourself to obtain understanding. One of the things that I've learned in my journey in reading the Bible is I have to pray and be like, okay, God, make it make sense. Right? You want me to understand this, so with the effort of applying this to my life, right? So you got to make it make sense for me. Make it very simple. So one of the things that God shared with me and revealed to me is that our faith, our belief in Him, and even in the things that we are doing is necessary with the work. Some people are working, and they lack faith. They lack belief. They're in self-doubt. They don't believe that what they're doing is actually actually going to work. So what happens is there's no life to whatever it is that they're doing. There is death. One thing that I understand about the scripture is that the scripture is true. God cannot lie. Okay? And he is very real. That wasn't the topic that I had on tonight, but I wanted to make sure that you all understood that faith and work must go together. As you pursue your purpose, as you lose weight, as you are waiting on God to send you love and all of the things, you got to have belief in him. You got to know that his word is true, and you got to do the work in order to get life to whatever it is that you're trying to do. So tonight we're going to talk about, last night I shared with you all the importance of creating a why. How successful people stay in the game is that they craft, majority of them, and this is just my observation and experience by observing coaches and mentors that I've had, and even successful friends that I've had over the years. They are very clear on why they're doing what they're doing. Unsuccessful people create excuses. They create excuses as why they can't. But successful people create reasons why they must. I'm going to say that again. Unsuccessful people create excuses. They make excuses. It's always something, right? While successful people realize and they understand why they must achieve this goal. Yes, losing weight may be a challenge for them, but they realize that they must because they need to live. And they identify a reason for living. So, of course, I'm not going to leave you hanging. I'm going to teach you some things to consider as you craft your why. If you already have not, make sure you subscribe to my channel, okay? So, the first thing, as you are daring to create and craft your why, the first thing that you need to do, and always make sure that you all show up with a pen and paper or something to transcribe and get some notes. Because here's the thing. I always understand this, that we always want to improve ourselves. We want to make ourselves better. And your greatest asset, as I always say, if you use it properly, is time. You never want anybody to waste your time. So anything that you are viewing, you want to make sure that it is, if you are in the enjoyment stage, you are enjoying. But if it's the learning stage, that you are obtaining something. So make sure you have notebook, paper, and a pen or an iPad and something where you can transcribe. So the first thing I want you to consider when you are crafting and creating your why is, number one, identify the goal that you like to achieve. Okay? One thing that I understand about God is that he's very intentional about everything that he does. Jeremiah 1 is Jeremiah encountering the presence of God, where God is telling him, look, before I formed you, good evening, before I formed you in the womb of your mother's belly, I knew you and I called you to be a prophet. So what that tells me is that before God even gave Jeremiah eyes, ears, determined his gender in the womb, then here is the thing. Let me say this. I'm a believer. And hopefully that sums up and answers your question about, is this a Christian channel? I'm a believer. So this is what we do. Okay, so here's the thing. He knew what he wanted Jeremiah to do. And one of the things that this tells me about God is that God is very intentional about everything that he does. He doesn't believe in wasting his time. And as children of God, for those of us who are blood-brought believers, then we must understand, I'm not really Christian, but I like to support small channels. Well, it doesn't matter whether I'm Christian or not. The question is, your goal is to obtain something that you need. Okay? If I just so happen to be a believer, that works as well. Okay? So this tells me is that God is very intentional about everything that he does. And as his children, we are to be strategic and intentional about everything that we do. Okay? So next thing, as you are identifying what your goal is, remember, we must be intentional about everything that we do, whether it's in our faith, concerning our family, concerning our finances, concerning any aspect of our life. We must have and set an intention. Remember, your time is valuable, so you must identify the goal that you like to achieve, so that your why is even more clearer. See, when you decide that this is what I want to achieve, then it's easy to craft and decide what your why is going to be. It's going to be easy to determine why you must accomplish this goal. And why is this important? Because we understand, and I encourage you all to go back and watch the video from last night, right? Here's the thing. You want to make sure, if that's the best, y'all are so sad. So sad. Okay, so here's the thing. When tough times come and building your business, you have to have something that you are going to continue, that's going to keep you pushing even when you don't feel like it. See, when people are unsuccessful, people are always trying to find a way out, trying to find a way of not doing what is necessary, but then they want the results. How do I know? I used to be that person. I would always pray and ask God to give me this, give me that. I wanted this and I wanted that. And then when it was time to do the work, I lacked doing the work. And as a result, I didn't see the fruit of what I said I desired to do. So you want to be very, very crystal clear about why you're doing what it is that you're doing. Okay? And here's the thing. This brings me to my next point. Be clear on your goal. You want your goal to be so clear that you can close your eyes and see it. If it is moving forward and building your business, what does that look like? What kind of business is it? What is my niche? Who's my ideal client? What do I want my company to look like? If there's a particular location, where do I want it to be? You want it to be so clear, so clear that you can see it. Remember, clarity is everything. Number two, as you are creating and determining your why, you want to ask yourself this easy and yet great question. Why must I achieve this goal? Why must I achieve this goal? Remember, there's intention about everything. Everything. So as an example, let's just say you decided that you wanted, which is what I do with women, is I help them and I teach them how to profit from their purpose, right? So here's the thing. If you want to start a business, why do I want to start this business? What is my intention behind what I'm doing? Be very, very clear about what you want to do. Be very, very clear, because when I understand that the clearer that I am, the easier it is for me to take the initiative and implement and do what I need to do. It's just like if you have ever worn any type of glasses, whether it's sunglasses or reading glasses or glasses that you must wear as a permanent prescription to help you see a whole lot better. It is one of the most frustrating experiences that I have had to walk around with blurred glasses. Blurred glasses. It makes it difficult to see. It makes it difficult to drive. It makes it difficult to read. It makes everything about what you are doing difficult. But when you have clarity, you can see. When you have clarity, you can implement. When you have clarity, you can pivot. When you have clarity, you can make changes. When you have clarity, you can see what's coming ahead a lot clearer than you did before. So you want to make sure that you ask yourself, why must I achieve this goal? And here's the thing. This will position you for the seriousness of you achieving the goal. This will ensure that you're not blowing out hot air. that you're not going to give up just like you did the last time when hardship comes. Because one thing that I understand about entrepreneurship, it will show you every aspect of you that needs to be improved. It will show you where you doubt. It will show you where you may have any envy or jealousy in your heart. And these are not mindsets that you want to have as a profiting entrepreneur. By the way, if you haven't already, these are things that I'm going to cover, and things like this I'm going to cover in my event next Tuesday. If you haven't already, make sure you click the link to get the details and join me. Right? And this will also, when you ask yourself that question, why must I? Here's the word, why must I achieve this goal? It will position your mindset to commit and decide to do whatever it is that you need to do. Whenever you dare, and this is my experience, I'm not sure if anybody has ever felt this way. Whenever you dare to do something amazing that you know that you should be doing and that is out of your normal comfort zone, you can expect that the enemy will try to come in and prevent you from doing the very thing that you said you were going to do. So as an example, let's just say that you decided you were going to give up sweets, right? And you determined that, you said it out loud. So now, since you've confessed it, now here is the test just to see how serious you are. Here comes somebody with something sweet. Right when you said that this is what you were going to do. You said that you were going to do what it takes to build your business. And here comes a curveball and you doing what is necessary to implement those steps. So when you ask yourself, why must I achieve this goal? Why must I profit from my purpose? Why must I build this business? It positions your mindset to say, you know what? I got to do this. Okay? All right. The third thing is, not the third thing, under that, when you ask yourself the question, why must I accomplish this goal? It takes away or reduces any doubt or the ability or the desire to relent. Remember, unsuccessful people make excuses while successful people create reasons. So when you ask yourself, why must I achieve this goal? Then it takes away the opportunity for you to say, you know what? I changed my mind. It increases your probability of deciding to do what is necessary to accomplish the goals. Okay? And number 3, when you are creating, or not even creating, determining your why for you moving in your purpose, for you building your business, money cannot, listen to me, money cannot be your main nor your sole reason for profiting from your purpose. And here's why. Number 1, money is a tool. Money is a tool that allows us to exchange, to obtain services, to gain products, to get resources. So you must understand this, that it must be deeper. Your why must be deeper than money. You have to ask yourself, when I achieve this financial goal, what will I do with the money? When my business is successful, when my business is profiting at a great level, what will I do with the money? Who will I help? What organizations, what institutions can I donate to? What entrepreneurs are struggling to get their businesses off of the ground where I can be an individual who sows into them? You have to establish what you're going to do with the money. Do you want to help your parents? Do you want to make sure that you put money aside for your children? Do you want to go and multiply that money and purchase property so that your children will not only have a place to stay, but they'll have a strong financial foundation to build upon? What will you do with the money? Money is very superficial. So you have to think deeper and greater than the money that you're going to make. Because when you make the money, then what? I have one better than that. As you're building your business and you're putting yourself out there and you're asking and you're pitching and you're networking and you're posting on social media and you're showing up on live and you don't see the results immediately because money is your motivation, then what? See, if you're anything like me, one of my whys, and I think I shared this last night. One of my whys, let me take a sip of water. One of my main whys, I understand that God created me. I was intentionally created. He knew that there was a problem on this earth that he wanted to use me to solve. So he created me. So then it becomes my job, my duty, my commitment to fulfill the very thing that God put me here on this earth to do. So if I give up, I'm not giving up on myself. I made a conscious decision to be disobedient to the very thing that God created me to do. So we always have to remember that we are moving in purpose, that we are here for a reason, that reason is so much bigger, far bigger and greater than us. God used Jeremiah in a mighty way. God used Ezekiel in a mighty way. And it was so much bigger than them. So as a believer, as you're moving forward in your purpose, for me, my biggest why is to ensure that I fulfill the very reason that God put me here on this earth. The other thing is this. One thing that I've observed, because I was guilty of this, we're great as parents to push our kids. Great as parents to push our kids. Pushing them to remain committed. Pushing them to have great grades. Pushing them to commit. But little do you know, your children are watching you and observing you quit on the very thing that you said you were going to do. One thing that I truly understand is that our children learn more from observation than they do conversation. See, we can talk all day long, but when we implement and they see us doing the right things, they learn how to do it right because they can see it. Because they can see it. So you can tell me that this is how I need to do a thing, but then it's something far easier for me to comprehend and grab a hold to when I can watch you demonstrate it for me. The same thing holds true for children. When they see you operating your purpose, when they see you stick to what you said you were going to do, it teaches them that they can't give up. It teaches them a greater level of commitment. So you have to decide, why am I building my business? Why do I want to build my business? Why must I move in my purpose? And when you do number one, Remember, be intentional. Number 2, ask yourself, why must I accomplish the goal? And number 3, understand that money cannot be the reason. You are on a sure path to ensure that you fulfill the very destiny and the purpose that God has for your life and the goals that you set. Happy birthday. So, as I close with this, I want you all to make sure that you're always very intentional. You're welcome. And next week, understand next week is the State of the Prophet Purpose Woman Address. Make sure you click the link below to learn more about it. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel so that anytime that I'm live, you all can join me. And until next time, know your worth. Good night, y'all. Bye.